Okay, real quick before we get into the Southern Charm New Orleans review. When I was waiting to try to watch the next rotation of Real Housewives of Potomac, because I think I caught it in the middle, but they had the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion on, and I don't know what part it was. Maybe it was the first part. First of all, Miss Vanderpump's dress, I absolutely love it because it's breast, no breast. I said, hey, that's kind of like the blue chick from X-Men, Mystique. But what disturbed me was Miss Lisa Rinna's hair. Girl, what happened to your head? Because every time I've ever seen Lisa Renner, I don't watch the show like that, but her hair is always put together. So I don't, girl, you must be going through some things. And then who was the chick with the bobby pins? Who was that? I hate that look so much. I really do. I hate that look. I think Rihanna was one of the first people that did it. But either way, I just want to note that. And Cal, one of the Hilton sisters, I sure hate it for you, honey, because rich or not, to be violated like that and to have certain family heirlooms taken, things that have more meaning to you, you know, it's sentimental. That just, I hope she's able to recover some of her stuff. I mean, surely you can find some of this stuff on the black market. It shouldn't be that hard. But anyway, I just wanted to note that. Let's get into this Southern Charm New Orleans. I believe we are now at what, episode 4? I just know it's called Alligator Tears. So much was addressed here, and we had to have some heavy moments too. I'm kind of doing this off the top of my head and a little bit from my Twitter things, but here are some highlights. So, Tamica Lee and her husband Barry Smith are at Reagan's party, and Tamica is setting fires because she really didn't want to be there, as we learn. But also Barry, I understand, brother, where you're coming from, because, you know, when we were in school, I don't think I ever used that word. I may have used some other terms, but this day and age, it is just inappropriate for a grown man to be going around calling someone a faggot or sissy or punk. So, you know, when we last left off, John Moody had pulled his friend Quay in to ask about a certain situation with his whole men's night out, guys' night out, and the women not being there, especially if they're married. And Quay kept saying that Tamica was insecure. There were some words exchanged. John Moody should have checked his boy. Number one, it shouldn't have never got to that point where you're allowing a stranger to insult someone who's a friend, mentor, big sister, however it is that you see her. Or maybe that's how Tamica sees you and you don't see her in that capacity. But it never should have gotten there, okay? Then her husband gets involved and it's an all-out verbal altercation. Quay, you were wrong for speaking to Tamica in that way. But it was just very, very intense and serious. And next thing you know, you get called a faggot and told to man up. Let's go. Barry, that was inappropriate. I kind of didn't like the way that Barry's approach to it was that, well, you know, when we were in junior high, if somebody called you that was like the words, you know, like, let's go, let's fight it out. You're 40 years old, married, and a father of 2, and a business owner, so you have a brand. So I was glad that the dudes like Justin and John were like, dude, you like shouldn't say that. Or Jeff. It was Jeff and Justin. And they were like, dude, you shouldn't say that. And I'm also glad that it was addressed on this swamp tour, but I want to cover that conversation as we get towards the end of this review. But it's just not something you should say. Gian, I was surprised with actually hanging out with him because, you know, that's Tamica's nemesis. And she even told me, you know, I know we're supposed to be doing some things together, but I heard that you said it like 3 times. And first of all, here's the rumor mill and the peanut gallery going in about their personal opinions about what happened. And then the thing is, though, regardless of how many times it was said, it should have never been articulated, Barry. That's just end of story. It should have never been. It was, yes, it was in the heat of the moment, but then we learned later on that you knew that you thought that would be the go-to word in your vocabulary to use when you could have just called him something else. Hell, you could just call him a bitch and got it over with. Okay, I mean, if you really just wanted to go there, that's a dig. The LGBT community might be coming for you soon, honey. You know, they come, they will come. I will say this, though, and I'll cover that when we talk about Jared, because there is a type of censorship that goes on in the LGBT community that kind of confuses me, because I remember when I was young and raised in the church, I just thought that if you were gay, we can't be friends, okay, because the Bible says it's wrong. Now, after going to college, my opinions, of course, have changed, and anyone who knows me knows that I embrace everyone, and some of my closest, dearest friends are gay, including females, not just males. I don't just have male gay friends, I have females too. One I consider my little sister. But let's get into Tamica. I like Tamica. Number one, I appreciate Tamica on this show because, number one, she was nice enough to reach out to me to explain some things. I really wish she would reach out to me again, though, explain to me, what is this love? It's not even love. It's a hateful relationship she has for Gian. Like, what did Gian do to you in high school that makes you feel like she's so obsessed with you in your life? But after Reagan's party is kind of disrupted by Barry, Hurricane Barry and Hurricane Tamica. Okay, so they're having this luncheon. Tamica is offering all these different excuses. As we know, when she came to the party, she was tired. Her back had gone out on her. And she had taken some pain pills and then concoct that with some alcohol. And there you go. Here comes the truth bombs being dropped. And Reagan and her friend Rachel, Lord, real quick, Rachel, baby, if you're in a leg brace, why are you in heels? Why are you wearing heels, girl? I get you probably about 5'3", but you're doing more harm than good. Some cute little sandals, some cute ballet flats. You don't have to have orthopedic granny shoes on, but you okay, Miss Funky? Look at that face, mama. Girl, I'm just concerned about your leg health, because what's going to happen is that once you damage that right leg, you're going to end up having to rely on the left leg, and then you're going to end up having to go to a chiropractor and get adjustments and other things that they can do to heal your hips and knees, because you're going to end up tearing up cartilage or whatever. You're going to make it worse. But I appreciate you because you had Reagan's back in this particular conversation. Honestly, Tamica, I cannot find any favor in any of the things that you did. You have to take ownership of the fact you cannot come to someone's party. But I also wanted to tell people, because I'm a little familiar with the reality TV filming components. In Tamica's defense for saying that she was tired and didn't really want to be there, sometimes the producers on reality shows will make people stay. For instance, I was watching the filming, or actually I was attending a formal event where a particular group of reality stars were in attendance, and they were trying to leave, and the producer's like, no, you have to stay. We have to get this scene. So Tamica probably was kind of told she had to be there, whether she wanted to be there, because all of the other cast members were there. So, yeah. So Tamica decided to be a little fastidious intermeddler and instigator and go for the juggler for her friends. And Justin and Kelsey were just victims of that. So in her defense, I understand, but Reagan is right. It was not the time or the place. It was highly inappropriate, and it's a business affair trying to get sales for her business. Rachel told her, you could have called them people on the phone. She was like, it's great that you tell truths, but you just don't do it at the party. Then she told her, she was like, you're a real sack of nickels. I was like, That's about as Southern as you can get, okay? You could have addressed your issues with Justin and John and Kelsey over a French 75 down to the bar. With Justin and Kelsey, I just felt bad for them because I'm like, what do you do with that? But Quay was wrong for coming at you the way that he did, but your husband was also wrong for using the term faggot. Justin is still trying to make sure he can get a bank loan to upgrade, update, and repair the family home, so hopefully he can start his own family with whomever. And the structural engineer is so funny. I was like, the producers are so wrong for this, because I know you told him to do this. They were talking about, oh, he was like, yeah, my girlfriend and I. He was like, girlfriend? I thought that was fiance. I was like, not quite. They just shacked up and getting ready to move in with his mom and dad. But Justin went on this. I love Justin. He's throwing. First, I wasn't sure about Justin, but he all right with me because he goes, Tamica is just like the foundation of this house. She's the dirt that keeps causing the cracks in my relationship. I said, oh, shit. Okay, damn. Tamica goes back over to the Shell's house to make sure that everything is okay between her because, you know, she walked out of the luncheon because, like Reagan says, she can dish it, but she can't take it. So she walked out the little luncheon with the leg brace lady and this most interesting, Nichelle, or whatever her name is. We just gonna call her Nichelle. They've decided that they want to get the whole gang together, friends of the show and them, and they all gonna go out. She said, I've always wanted to do a swamp tour. I think that would be nice. You know, kind of like out of Africa. I'm like, Tamika's face was like, out of Africa? If you don't know what Out of Africa is, it's this 1980 film, Sidney Pollack film that starred Meryl Streep and Robert Redford. It's tragic. I mean, I'm like, who wants to do Out of Africa? I mean, the woman like lost all of her possessions in Africa, and the love of her life died, and the man that she married gave her syphilis. I mean, it's just very tragic all the way around, and she never returns to Africa again, and it's based on a true story. So I'm like, I don't know about being out of Africa. And the people were what? Danish, and of course it was colonizers. And it's, no, maybe we should just say we're going on a swamp tour and make it a lazy afternoon, like being on the Mississippi Riverboat, something like that. Okay? I think that would be very nice, Miss Nichelle. They get ready to go on the swamp tour. I personally like the swamp tour thing. I went on a boat like that, but we, of course, didn't have the dining arrangement. I wanted to go on the airboat, but my homegirls, they scared and they didn't want to get, because, you know, if you fall off, you know, it could be scary. But I'm like, you're strapped in, so you should be fine, baby. They started having a discussion, which even I was thinking, that is true. So you know how we eat fried, well, not everybody is, but you eat fried gator and crawfish and all of that. Okay, I was like, so gators and crawfish is not per se seafood. Does Papa don't list them as seafood, or is it seafood and fish? Is that what is considered? Just thought. Gian is in attendance at this swamp tour, and Tamica said something that made my mouth drop open. She said that Gian is like a living STD. I caught her in high school. Barry caught her at the gym, and now John done caught her. I was like, damn, so she's herpes. Okay. Apologies are being had around. Tamica is having to swallow a tough pill because of her behavior. I will say this, my friend and I were talking about that. I don't like saying I'm sorry. I feel as though sorry is not really sorry. I think that when you say sorry, that's kind of the admittance of you being a sorry individual. I prefer to say I apologize or my apologies, because I feel as though it is more sincere. And I'm with John Moody. Tamica, you are a grown-ass woman, and how hard is it for you to apologize? I mean, how is it that you haven't learned how to apologize? Just admit the wrong. Be specific about what the wrong is that you're admitting to, and just say, my apologies. Please forgive me. plain and simple. And I told John, I was like, probably because she's never felt like she's had anything to apologize for. I've had to learn it the hard way, but it gets easier. Just admit the wrong and keep it pushing. Then there's the conversation about Barry's use of the F word. And that's when Tamica's cousin Jared has talk about it, about being gay. And this is where I want to touch on it. I saw something in one of the groups that I'm in. They posted one of those MTV True Life docuseries where a young lady who's in college is a cheerleader, cute girl, but she is a lesbian and does not know how to come out to her family. She came out to her cheer squad, but not to her mother and aunt. And in the group, people were upset about how the mother and aunt reacted. I'm like, quite frankly, that's a mild reaction for a black family. And number two, it's also kind of a natural, organic reaction, because when she was trying to tell them, first she only said the person's name is Kim, and then the mom was like, "Oh, you have a boyfriend, an Asian boyfriend named Kim. He's Asian." And so then she finally goes, "No, it's a she. Her name is Kim." And then the aunt was like, "Oh my God!" And then the aunt was like, "Did you just hear what she said?" She was like, "Yeah, she has a boyfriend named Kim." And the aunt was like, "That is not what she said." So then the mom realizes, "Oh my God, my daughter is a lesbian." She freaks out. She asks the craziest questions, but they're common questions like, which one is the boy or the girl? "Oh my God, but you're a pretty girl. You wear your hair long. You're a cheerleader. My daughter's not supposed to be gay. How do you feel when you go to church and you know that you're gay?" And so in the group that I'm in, the people were like, "This is exactly why I didn't want to come out to my family, because of these stupid questions, and I don't like to talk about it." What I don't understand is, why is it so touchy and off-putting for people to ask you questions about your sexuality? Because some people really don't understand it. Like, I had questions myself personally. Like, for me, homosexuality, bisexuality, all made perfectly good sense to me. But then I started hearing all these other terms. Like, I've heard there's like 50-some different sexualities out there now. And so, I had to look up pansexual recently because, Janelle Monáe has come out as pansexual. And so I had to look that up, and I still don't understand that one. But I think that you should not censor people who are asking genuine questions coming from a genuine place and space. It's just like when some of my white friends have questions about being black, as far as like hair and why do we do this and why do we cook our food? Why do we wash our meat? I'm just saying, don't censor people, because the more you educate people about your sexuality, you'll have less people going out and popping off and saying things like Barry. All I'm saying is, don't censor us. Just let people ask questions if they want to. You can tell when someone's genuinely asking and when there's just people that are just being assholes. Bottom line. Jeff also had a positive announcement. I'm so happy for Jeff. He is going to be going to therapy. Bravo to you, Jeff, because you are out of sorts, you are out of balance, and therapy might be good for you. And once you get acclimated to therapy, I strongly suggest you think about doing group therapy. It's going to be kind of nice to have a therapist facilitating discussions between you and your peers. So that may be something you want to consider. I like this Rachel chick, despite her choice of footwear and a brace. But she was telling Reagan that if you move to the French Quarter apartment, your marriage is going to be over. And Reagan can't comprehend that. It's like, it's not clicking. But then again, a lot of us theorize that Reagan really just wants to get away from Jeff, since he's on the broke and struggle tour right now. Reagan, of course, starts the same thing she did when Tamica was trying to counsel her on her marriage, too, is that, well, it's not the same, okay? But I will say this, I really enjoyed this episode, and you know why? Because, number one, Reagan didn't do a lot of talking, and number two, we didn't have to hear about how she was so busy running my businesses, trying to get my French Quarter apartment and get away, get the hell away from Jeff because, oh my God, he's special and something's wrong with him. He's just, oh my God, I love you. Okay, we didn't have to hear all that today. But y'all heard it from me tonight. Next, during this, they decide they're going to do a plantation tour. Yeah, I'm not going to no damn plantation, haunted plantation. One of the damn masters might rise up and try to lock my ass down in chains or make me his bed wench. I ain't trying to do that shit. Good luck with that to y'all. But that's all I've got for Southern Charm New Orleans. Thank you guys for joining. Let me know what you think about Southern Charm New Orleans. Please give this show a chance. I actually really do like it. The characters, the cast are interesting. Just really glad that Jeff is going to be getting the help that he needs to help him manage and deal with life. And possibly life without Reagan, because I swear that girl running from that man. She gotta be. But thank you to my 275 subscribers. We still want to get to 1,000, so let's see if we can make it happen by July. That would be awesome. So thank you guys for watching. I was noting that for some reason one of my videos from almost a year ago or over a year ago, the book by this girl named, I think it's Angela Stanton, that wrote about lies of a real life housewife, and she was talking about Phaedra Park and was alleging all these claims about Phaedra being part of this racketeering ring. So I want to thank you guys for also watching that. It's had over 4,000 views, which means YouTube, you might want to consider giving me my monetization back. But that's all I've got for this particular episode of Southern Charm New Orleans. I have been Miss Sophia the Diva, and you guys have been all that. And Miss Pumpkin, where's my purse, honey? Because we got to look out for all these flying handbags these days.